Hey, what's up, Facebook, YouTube? We're live right now, and it's your boy, Jason Lucchese. Just wanted to bring you this video because I saw in one of my friends' groups the other day, he's got a real estate group on Facebook, and somebody was asking about private money. And one of the things that I wanted to address on this particular video is private money. And a lot of times, either brand new investors or novice investors tend to have a lot of a roadblock when it comes to raising and sourcing private money. So one of the things I wanted to do is really cover that on this particular video. I'm not going to spend like a gargantuan amount of time on it. I will put this into a podcast and go in much detail on it for you in bigger depth for you and really give you the tools that you need. So I'm just going to give you what you need right now to really proceed forward and start raising some private money for yourself. And if you want to comment in at all, say hi or leave a comment if you have a question. I do get back to folks really quick, especially if we are doing this live right now, which we are. So you can feel free to chime in at any time. So when you're starting out as a real estate investor, most of the time, the top question is, hey, Lamont, how's it going, man? Hey, so one of the huge things that we're always running across with brand new folks is the number one excuse, and as you know, we have the company No Flipping Excuses, is, well, I don't have a track record. I haven't done deals before. Well, I can tell you this right now. It doesn't matter if you have never done a deal or if you've done hundreds of deals. There's different ways that you can structure your deals. Now, the two that I'm going to discuss with you right here, right now, is debt equity position and rate and term. Those are the two that are more than likely going to be the ones that you're going to probably come across and structure with your private money lenders. When you're just starting out, you're more than likely going to structure it in some sort of a debt equity position where you're giving up percentage of your profits in order for somebody else to give you their money to do the deal. Yeah, you found it. It's a great deal. You're probably going to be able to sell it really quick if you want to rehab it. That's great, but you need the money. So instead of getting 0%, you'd rather get 50%. Most debt equity deals are going to be some sort of a structure to where it's going to be 50, 60% to you, depending on how you structure it, and 40% to the individual that's lending you the capital, just because they're a little bit more at risk. Now, here's the deal that also puts them in favor. If something happens to where you are not able to perform and you're not able to proceed forward, the best thing for them, in order for them to have protection, is that they have a lien position on the property. That's what I always did when I was just starting out and I was doing debt equity position transactions, is I would give my private money lender a position in the property. So they would have first lien, they'd have first right. So if something happened and I went way past the timeline of what I told that person, because generally for me, I don't really want to get into a rehab if it's going to take 3 to 4 months, just because I don't like having capital tied up for that long period of time. Even though it's not my capital, I really care about my private money lenders because I don't want them having their capital tied up for that long period of time unless we've discussed that. So having transparency, completely, fully exposed, and having everything put forth of expectations is also going to be key. Because when we talk to private money lenders, it's really crucial that you let people know what your intentions are. So if you plan on fixing the property, getting a tenant in it, and then refinancing your private money lender off, then you need to have that conversation with them up front because they may not want to get involved. The debt equity position is you're going to have a partnership agreement in place, and then you're also going to have them on title to where they're a first lien position. You're going to be on title by yourself, but they're going to be in first lien position, and it's going to be written in a format to where they can foreclose on the property immediately and get the owner of record transferred over to them. And it just works in a favorable position for them at that standpoint. They're, A, they didn't have to find the property. B, you're going to be doing all of the legwork. C, they get paid handsomely when the deal is done and closes. And D, if something does happen, they get the property back. Okay. So once you do a few of those and you have built a track record up, and you've done deals with using none of your own capital, that's going to be a great thing. Now, some folks are probably wondering like, well, when I close on the deal, will I also get rehab money when I close on the transaction? Because I don't have that money either. And trust me, I was in that boat too. I didn't have the money. So typically how it works is you can get all of it up front, or you can work in draw periods. So the best way to do that is you pay out your contractors every Friday. You don't pay out in full. So if somebody gives you a $25,000 quote and they say, hey, I want half, no. You work in installments with the individual as they complete work. So the best thing that you can do is pay them out every Friday. And as you do that, you give information to your private money lender wanting additional draws. So what I mean by that is, what do I mean by give them these? So you're going to give them receipts. You're going to give them the individual work that was completed by your contractors, and then they go ahead and give you the draw for next week. So some of them want to work that way as well because they want to see like actual work being done on the property. So if it's going to be your first or second time with this individual, they're probably not 100% confident and comfortable with you yet to where you can proceed forward in a manner that allows you to get rehab costs at closing. I've been able to structure deals to where, I wanted to borrow 100 and I needed 25 for rehab, and I got all of it at closing. That happens. It's all about structuring and getting creative so that everybody feels confident and comfortable. You hear that from me quite a bit, confident, comfortable, because that's a key thing is making sure that folks are that position. So when you work rate and term, a lot of folks, they hear points. Now, after you've developed relationships with folks and you've done, 3, 4, 5 deals with them, now you could start going out. You have a little bit of a track record, and you could start negotiating terms in a much favorable manner for you to where you're not giving 50% of an equity position on the net profits that are made. Now you're in a position to where you can go ahead and structure the deal from a rate and term standpoint. Most of the time, we're going to be anywhere between 8 to 11% on our private money terms. And I say the double digits part because that did happen a few times when I was starting off. So I don't want you to feel like, I'm gonna overpromise you and underdeliver here by, painting some picture to let you think that every single deal is going to be 8 or 9% interest. And in fact, it's probably going to be slightly higher with brand new private money lenders. And then you could always renegotiate. And the key to getting terms is making sure that you do not paint the picture of how much they're going to get as far as a return. You always want to find out from them what they are looking to receive. So from that standpoint, most of our deals nowadays are going to be anywhere between 8 and 8.5% as an interest-only monthly payment. And most of the time now, maybe 1 or 2 points at the most. And we pay those at the end. Most of the last few transactions have been no points, just because that's how we've been able to negotiate them. We've had relationships now for a long period of time. So it can get structured to that way. Another great thing too is as you're doing this and you've got really good private money lenders, you can keep these properties. Like I was saying at the beginning, you can do deals to where you have them for 6 months, and then you could refinance them. So say, for instance, you want to build up wealth, and you could use other people's money to do this. Is one of the strong ways that I would recommend to execute this is you could have multiple properties with the same private money lender. So say you have 4 or 5 deals and they're cash flowing for you. You've put tenants in them, you've got property management in place, and they're good to go. Or they might be Airbnb properties that, you've got consistency coming in with bookings and they're cash flowing. Well, next thing you know, you can go and get what's called a blanket loan, and you could take those 4 or 5 properties that you're paying on. So each property you're paying 8 to 8.5% interest on, and then what you could do is you could take them and put them all together. And now you can have anywhere between a 5 to 5.5% interest rate to a high 5% interest rate, and you're only making 1 payment instead of 5. So it allows you to really get in there and get deals at great prices and allows you to build up long-term wealth. Because a lot of us think short-term with wholesaling, because wholesaling is kind of like a one-off transaction. Once you do it, there's no recurring revenue from that deal. So wholesaling is great, but the longevity of real estate is being able to have that from a generational standpoint to where you could pass it down from yourself to your kids, to those kids, and it keeps going down and down and down forever. So that's the great thing about real estate. Now, a couple tips that I'm going to give you on finding the private money lenders, because we discussed structuring briefly here for about the last 10 minutes. And if you have any questions, feel free, go ahead and type them in, and I'll be more than happy to answer this. But it's going to take, a lot of conversations, not just over the internet, but you could have conversations with folks over the phone. You could have conversations with them in person. We're talking about people that are going to be, willing to give you their money to do these transactions. And yes, everything is safe and secure with real estate, but you also want to make sure that you're developing relationships, because as you develop those relationships, you're going to be able to get the longevity out of that relationship too, which is better terms on your deals, improved pricing on your deals. So instead of a debt equity position, you can now do rate and terms. So, one of the things that I saw in this group the other day, and it was handled extremely well, very professional, how the whole group kind of came together and tried to explain to those folks that it's going to take more than 5 different conversations. You're going to have multiple conversations with folks. Some of the best ways, believe it or not, you can find individuals on Craigslist, and you're going to have a conversation with these folks. It's not going to just be like, hey, would you be interested in lending some money? What I would do is I would say, hey, I came across your information on Craigslist. I saw that you're actively looking for properties. When can we set up a phone call, a quick 15-minute phone call? I just want to talk to you. I'm a real estate investor here in town. And then what I would do after that 15-minute phone call is, if you guys are meshing well, it sounds like it could be a really good opportunity, then take that individual out for coffee. If you don't have it in the budget to go out for lunch or a dinner, then go out for like a cup of coffee. For me, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but you could always go and get like a bottle of water or a tea and just have a conversation. It's not going to be like some short, sweet conversation after the 15-minute initial call. But once you go and you're able to talk to this person face to face, it really, really helps out. Because like when we have live events and people come and they're able to see me like face to face, the whole dynamic of the relationship changes now, because now we get to know each other a little bit differently, and it just helps out quite a bit. So Craigslist can be a really, really great source. It's free. We're talking Facebook now. We're talking LinkedIn, YouTube. You could find folks locally from a geographical standpoint in your own backyard. You don't have to be looking for folks all over the place. These folks can be in your own backyard. You could go to Chamber of Commerce meetings, your local real estate investors associations, find out who the players are and have conversations with them. Another great source that's completely overlooked is your own cash sales. So look at recently closed cash transactions in your area and first of all, you want to have a conversation with them, and it's going to be a little bit different because you know that, hey, I just saw that you closed on 521 Main Street. I wanted to give you a call because I'm coming across a lot of deeply discounted properties that are similar, and I want to see if you might be interested in looking at some of the properties that I'll be having here soon that are very, very identical to the property that you just bought. It might actually be a little bit cheaper than what you originally bought it at, which gives you a larger profit spread. And that would be a really great conversation because we do those calls all the time for our students, for our business. We do them live at our events. So people know that those calls, they don't have to be scripted. They could just be like how I'm talking. Right now I'm talking to a screen. I'm not talking to anybody. There's nobody in my office. I see folks that are watching live, but I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to a computer screen right now because I can't see you. So the same thing has to apply with when you're talking over the phone. Pretend there's somebody there, because that's one of the cool things too is somebody that because I hire mentors all the time. And that's why you see, like, I've got Albert Einstein right there. I've got Steve Jobs right there. I've got John F. Kennedy, Tony Robbins, Michael Jordan, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sometimes when I'm on the phone, or maybe I'm doing one of these types of calls, is I will look at them and pretend I'm having a conversation with them. So I'm looking at Michael Jordan right now, believing I'm having a conversation with Michael Jordan. So that's some of the things too that will help you when you're talking to folks. If you need to get a visual of who you're talking to on the phone, do that. Get some of the pictures like I have. Those are some of the things that you can do that will really help you. Finding the recently solds in your area that were cash transactions are going to be able to put you substantially higher with being able to get private money. Find out from them what type of deals they want. And then once you're able to do maybe like 1 or 2 deals with them from a wholesaling standpoint, take them out for lunch and talk to them about being able to do deals on a larger scale. Now that you've developed a relationship, you've gone over that 30-day mark from the SEC standpoint, and you're going to have to double check it with an attorney for asking for private money, because I know within certain time periods can you approach people in order to get private money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together an upcoming podcast episode, and I'm going to go deep into this. Typically the podcast episodes are about an hour. So I'll go a little bit deeper into this. Hopefully I was able to give you, some insights on this. If you have questions, let me know. But we are going to devote a lot of time to talking about private money because there's so much capital out there today that you could literally get your hands on millions of dollars for your deals, even if you have none of your own money. So if you want to learn more about that, join us at our upcoming No Flipping Excuses Summit, which is going to be in Las Vegas. And you could go to joinnfe.com. The dates are March 9th through the 11th. Join us at the live event. It's going to be me, Chad McCall, Brad Quintana, Michael Bretthauer. We're not going to have any outside speakers. It's going to be a full 3 days of nonstop making it happen, action type results. That was a mouthful. So there's a lot of great information that we're going to be sharing at that upcoming live event. You could check it out on the page. You could see what others have said about attending our live events in the past. We would love to have you there. Again, it's just you go to joinnfe.com, and we have everything structured for you in a format to where we're going to be doing live seller negotiation calls. So we're going to have deals for you that you could potentially walk away with. How we're structuring that is we're going to give you leads. We're going to give you leads in a way to where you can have a full name, a full address, city, state, zip code, and the phone number of individuals in your area that we know from doing skip tracing that are motivated. They are motivated because they are vacant, absentee properties, and also foreclosure properties that have equity in them. So we want to give you the highest amount of opportunity to walk away with not just one deal, but multiple deals And we're also going to help you in a way to where you could structure private money. Private money. We're also, I made a video, I believe the other day, where we talked about different properties that you can get your hands on right now at deep, deep discounts that really doesn't have a whole lot of competition to it. And what I mean is we're finding these properties that need to have wheelchair accessibility according to the ADA standards. And we're able to get grant money for these deals, and we're able to get these deals at deep, deep discounts, not just through sites like HUD Home Store or the MLS or through some of our banking and hedge fund resources, but we're finding these deals to where we could come in, we can improve the quality of life for somebody that's wheelchair bound, because 2 million plus Americans per year are becoming wheelchair bound. So we could do this together. We can work together. Come join us March 9th through the 11th in Las Vegas. You can go to joinnfe.com. I would love to have you there. Would love to meet with you in person. I'd love to spend a quality 3 days together. If you want to become a VIP, we're going to have the night before, we're going to have a cocktail reception for about 3-4 hours. So it's going to be something completely private just for our VIPs. You could come hang out with us. You could talk to us about your business, how we can help you. We're truly in this together with you, as my good friend Drew Canoli would say. And I really want to help you make 2018 a phenomenal year and really just make it happen. So let's see if there's any questions that we have coming in here. So Justin Buchanan, time frame for asking for private money. I hadn't heard of this before. Yes. Say for instance, Justin, you and I just entered into a relationship. So this is day one. I can't personally ask you for private money unless you've talked to me about, hey, can we work together and I could be your private money lender. That's a totally different scenario. If I come in, I say, hey, Justin, I've got this great deal. Would you be willing to lend on this deal from a private money standpoint? And obviously I wouldn't say, hey, let's do it from a private money standpoint. I would just ask you if you would like to be my lender on this transaction. At that point, if we didn't have any prior relationship, and that the conversation has to be started. So right now, Justin, I could reach out to you in about 29 days from right now and talk to you about lending money for our deals. So that's how that works. You could talk to an attorney that's very familiar with the SEC and get that information confirmed, because I'm not an attorney. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm none of that stuff. Although, you know, you could go on Google and everybody can become one nowadays. But that's where I am on that one. Let's see. Is there any other questions that came in? Jamil, thanks for letting me know that this is great. But yeah, if there's any other questions, you could reach out to us. I put our contact info on here. It's 317-900-1307. Or by email, which is support@jasonluchesi.com. And that's spelled JASONLUCCHESI.com. So reach out to us if you have any questions about the event, any questions about the private money, any questions about the deals that we're doing from an ADA standard compliance standpoint. We're here for you. Let's make 2018 great. If you are falling short on your goals, and today, as of right now, is January 30th, and you're not at the spot that you want, then there's a problem, and we can fix that together. So just reach out. We're here. Again, I would encourage you, join us at the event, joinnfe.com. Or if you want to find out a little bit more about me or what we do, you can always listen to us on iTunes. Everything's free. I believe we have 22 episodes up there right now. Our show is called the No Flipping Excuses Show. So you could go check that out. We've got tons of great content on there. Again, the No Flipping Excuses Show. Check that out. We'd love for you to give us a 5-star review, leave us a rating, leave us a comment. But other than that, that's all I have. I don't see any other questions coming in. So thanks for your time. Look forward to working with you and making 2018 a great, great year. Take care. Bye now.